A very sweet morning to everyone, TGT PGT aspirants. Today we are going to start Galsworthy, important facts regarding his life. So let's begin. Our first question: which female author was a fierce critic of Galsworthy? Answer: Virginia Woolf. Next, the main theme of Galsworthy's plays is. Answer is social problems of his time. Yes. Next question. Who used the pseudonym John St. John? Answer: John Galsworthy. John Galsworthy was the son of a lawyer. John Galsworthy began his literary career as a novelist. This question is frequently asked in many exams. Galsworthy met him in 1893 and formed a lifelong friendship with him, identifying him. गाल्सवर्दी 1893 में एक मतलब उनसे मिला था और एक लंबी एक ज़िंदगी भर उनकी जो है फ्रेंडशिप बनी रही. वो कौन थे? आंसर है जोसेफ कॉनरेड. नेक्स्ट, हु रोट द इन ऑफ ट्रैंक्विलिटी? जॉन गाल्सवर्दी. John Galsworthy's ideas on drama are found in The Inn of Tranquility. Yes. Next. As a painter of physical universe and of the soul, John Galsworthy is a poet who said, Louis Cazamian. Louis Cazamian says this statement is a painter of physical universe and of the soul. So, next question. Galsworthy's wife was, we all know, Ada Pearson. Now let's move to our next question. Who wrote Fraternity? Very simple, Galsworthy. The lower class was represented in Galsworthy's Fraternity. What kind of plays did John Galsworthy write? Problem plays. As a dramatist, John Galsworthy belongs to the realist tradition of Jones and Penrose. John Galsworthy received the degree of D.Litt from Cambridge University, 1930. Who wrote the Forsyte Saga? John Galsworthy. In the Forsyte Saga, the Forsytes belongs to a typical city family. John Galsworthy was born in 1867 and died in 1933. कह रहा है कि 1867 में इनका जन्म हुआ था. इनकी मृत्यु 1933 में हुई थी. जॉन गाल्सवर्दी रिफ्यूज्ड किंगडम इन 1917. 1917 में इन्होंने ये उपाधि लेने से मना कर दिया था, नाइटहुड की. जॉन गाल्सवर्दी मैरिड हिज कजिन्स वाइफ आफ्टर हर डाइवोर्स. Who wrote The Silver Box? John Galsworthy. The first play by John Galsworthy was The Silver Box. The Silver Box was published in 1906. Here, this is, yes. Galsworthy won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1932. Galsworthy's tragedies are called social tragedies. Galsworthy is both minute and delicate. And यहाँ पे क्या रहेगा? रियलिस्ट रहेगा. Realist, yes. He writes what he saw and feels. He does not write imaginary things. Yes. Who wrote Justice? Justice किसने लिखा? John Galsworthy. The character William Falder figures in which play of John Galsworthy? Justice. Who said literature is its own reward? John Galsworthy. What did John Galsworthy become in 1921? 1921 में क्या बने? प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द PEN क्लब लंदन. Who said life is long temptation? जिंदगी एक लंबी लालच है, प्रलोभन है. जिंदगी भर आदमी किसी न किसी लालच में फंसा रहता है. ये जॉन गाल्सवर्दी ने कहा था. Who wrote the play Strife? John Galsworthy. Galsworthy's reputation as a novelist is established by the Four-Side Saga. He received Order of Merit Reward in 1929. Why did John Galsworthy reject knighthood? Because he thought that a writer's reward should come from writing. Who used to write novels in the morning and plays in the afternoon? हु यूज टू राइट, कौन लिखा करता था उपन्यास नॉवेल्स को? सुबह में नॉवेल्स लिखता था, दोपहर में नाटक लिखता था, ये कौन था? ये सर गाल्सवर्दी ही था। यस। व्हिच क्रिटिक सेड Galsworthy's play Justice is a commentary upon the prison administration of that period. A.C. Ward. Yes, A.C. Ward. ये किस क्रिटिक ने कहा था कि जस्टिस जो है एक कमेंट्री है जेल और प्रशासन के ऊपर? ये क्रिटिक का नाम था A.C. वाल्ड। हु रोट इन चांसरी? John Galsworthy. John Galsworthy was born in a wealthy family. John Galsworthy's father's name was also John Galsworthy. True. John Galsworthy was the eldest son of his family. True. Who wrote Man of Property? John Galsworthy. The first successful novel of John Galsworthy was The Man of Property. A turning point in the life of Galsworthy came in with the publication of The Man of Property. John Galsworthy went to Harrow and New College, Oxford. In the First World War, Galsworthy joined a hospital in France as an orderly. Towards the end of his life, Galsworthy developed brain tumor. Who wrote Loyalty? Galsworthy. Strife, why John Galsworthy dramatizes Strife. In the play The Silver Box, John steals a silver cigarette box. I read in various chambers, practiced almost not at all, and disliked my profession thoroughly. Who said? John Galsworthy. In Kingston, a road and a hospital have been named after Galsworthy. John Galsworthy was a poet, novelist, dramatist, and a lawyer. The first play that made Galsworthy famous as playwright is The Silver Box. Who suffers solitary confinement in Justice by Galsworthy? Halder. Who wrote The Dark Flower? John Galsworthy. The first play that made Galsworthy famous as a playwright is The Silver Box. Who suffers solitary confinement in Justice by Galsworthy? Halder. Who wrote The Dark Flower? John Galsworthy. The Dark Flower by John Galsworthy is a love novel. John Galsworthy's novels are chiefly occupied with the effect and conflict of class traditions upon society. John Galsworthy died at the age of 65. John Galsworthy got honorary degrees from 7 universities. The character of Irene in the Forsyte Saga is inspired from Ada Pearson, Galsworthy's wife. According to Galsworthy, which play made a sensation in parliamentary and official circles? Justice. Who wrote The White Monkey? John Galsworthy. The White Monkey by John Galsworthy is novel. Who said Galsworthy does not create life what he has interpreted today? हरमन आउल्ड. किसने कहा गाल्सवर्दी ने केवल रचना ही नहीं किया जिंदगी की, बट इसको इंटरप्रेट भी किया, इसकी व्याख्या भी किया? हरमन आउल्ड ने कहा था. Who commented after the death of Galsworthy? Since his death in 1933, the level of his popularity has remained remarkably constant. जॉन हैम्पियन ने इस चीज़ को कहा था क्या कि जब गाल्सवर्दी मर गया था 1933 में, तो उसकी मौत से लेकर के और जो पॉपुलरिटी का जो एक स्तर है वो अभी भी बरकरार है. ये जॉन हैम्पियन ही था जिसने इस बात को कहा था. Who wrote the novel The Island Pharisees? John Galsworthy. John Galsworthy's first novel published under his own name, The Island Pharisees. The title of Galsworthy's first work in his Forsyte saga was The Man of Property. Who said, take care of the character and actions will take care of themselves? Galsworthy ने कहा था. Galsworthy campaigned for a variety of reasons, including prisons reforms, women's rights, and animal welfare. Who wrote Love Has No Age, No Limit and No Death? जॉन गाल्सवर्दी ने कहा था कि मोहब्बत की कोई उम्र नहीं होती, कोई सीमा नहीं होती और उसकी मौत भी नहीं होती. Who wrote एंड ऑफ द चैप्टर, गाल्सवर्दी ने लिखा था एंड ऑफ द चैप्टर। द टाइटल ऑफ द प्ले जस्टिस बाय गाल्सवर्दी इज आयरनिकल, यस ये आयरनिकल तो है ही है। विच प्ले ऑफ जॉन गाल्सवर्दी डील्स विद इनफाइडेलिटी बिटवीन हस्बैंड वाइफ रिलेशनशिप। कौन सा प्ले है गाल्सवर्दी का जिसमें इनफाइडेलिटी जो बेवफाई है ये दिखाया गया है, एक पति और पत्नी के संबंधों के बीच में। उस नॉवेल का क्या नाम है? फ्यूजिटिव, ड्रामा है शायद, यस दिस इज ड्रामा फ्यूजिटिव। Which play of John Galsworthy deals with the evil of illicit love, the eldest son? The sequel of Forsyth Saga is a modern comedy. What is Galsworthy's play? The skin game about is class struggle. Class struggle. Which character said justice is a machine, Mr. From? In which play of Galsworthy did the mute scene feature justice? The subject matter of the man of property was middle class Victorian society. Galsworthy's literary career spanned the Victorian, Edwardian, and Georgian eras. The motivating force behind Galsworthy's writing was his wife, who wrote To Let. John Galsworthy. Which novel of Galsworthy is considered to be his masterpiece, Indian Summer of Foresight? First novel of Galsworthy was Jocelyn. गॉल्सवर्थी की जो सबसे पहली नॉवेल थी वो जोसलिन थी। बर्न इट आउट एंड यू विल ऑब्लाइज मी। अबाउट विच वर्क डज गॉल्सवर्थी टॉक हियर? फ्रॉम द फोर winds. John Builder is an unimaginable, hot-tempered man. In which play does he appear? A family man. John Builder कहाँ आता है? Family man में आता है। John Galsworthy's play justice shows the problem of English legal system. Galsworthy's work, The Country House, presents the upper class. The finest of Galsworthy's later drama is Loyalties. What became the main theme of John Galsworthy's writing? The inequalities and injustices of the social system. Who said, if you cannot think about your future, you cannot have one? John Galsworthy ने कहा था। The Little Man, written by Galsworthy, is one act play. In which play does a woman kill her illegitimate child to escape social tyranny? Bindoge. Bindoge. About which play did Galsworthy say, the only play of mine which I was able to save when I finished it? No manager will refuse this. Loyalties. Which play of Galsworthy made him famous? The Skin Game. In the play Loyalties, Galsworthy has tried to say that loyalty is not enough, which play deals with the impact of modern publicity on private domestic tragedy, The Show. Who is the leader of the laborers in strife? David Roberts, who wrote the work Two Essays on Comrade, John Galsworthy. The Forsyth family chronicle covers 34 years to the death of Queen Victoria and gives an admirable picture of the upper middle classes in the changing society of the end of the 19th century. ये बात सत्य है क्या? यस ये सत्य है, ट्रू है। Who wrote every grouping of life and character has its inherent moral, and the business of the dramatist is so to pose the group as to bring that moral poignantly to the light of day. John Galsworthy. John Galsworthy's ideas on the drama are to be found in his collection of essays, The Inn of Tranquility. John Galsworthy's plays deals with the inadequacy of the administration of justice and the attitude of different types of people toward an escaped prisoner. Escape, yes. The Bell of Peace is a poetic work of John Galsworthy. So answer is poetic. The most attractive of all John Galsworthy's novel is The Country House. Which play of John Galsworthy was included in Burns Mantle's best plays of 1927-1928? Escape. Who was a great propagator of naturalistic methods of description in literature? John Galsworthy. Who wanted to shed light on the forgotten dark spots of human life as a means of providing moral guidance? John Galsworthy. If G.B. Shah put problems on the stage, Galsworthy put peoples there. True. Who orders his underkeeper to marry a pregnant village girl or get out? Sir William Cheshire in the eldest son. The Man of Property was adapted in 1949 1950 में मैन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी को अडेप्ट किया गया था किसके द्वारा हॉलीवुड के द्वारा और क्या बनाई गई थी दी फोरसाइट वुमन एक फिल्म बनाई गई थी दी मैन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी के ऊपर और ये 1949 की घटना है 1949 में बनाई गई थी और उसका नाम था द फोरसाइट वुमन When an artist of Mr. Galsworthy's high endeavor, mental equipment, and technical skill writes a play like he has done much more than write a play. He has rendered a public service. ये strife होगा. Who attended an early performance of the play Justice? Who attended an early performance of the play Justice? Winston Churchill. विंस्टन चर्चिल एक पहला व्यक्ति था जब जस्टिस को प्ले किया गया था तो ये वहाँ जा कर के देखा था इस प्ले को सबसे पहले Which play of John Galsworthy was included in Burns Mantle's The Best Plays of 1920-1921? The skill name. Which drama of Galsworthy deals with the conflict between capitalists and laborers strife? Why was John Galsworthy given Nobel Prize? Answer: for his distinguished art of narration in Forsyte Saga. Question: the Forsyte Saga includes 3 novels and 2 interludes. Next: who said a human being is the best plot there is? John Galsworthy. John Galsworthy wrote about 30 plays. John Galsworthy wrote about 30 plays. 30 plays लिखा है Galsworthy ने. John Galsworthy's plays Justice deals with the cruelty of solitary confinement. So now I think this is the end session, and we have very successfully completed some questions about John Galsworthy, and soon we will meet in next class or next session.